Welcome to Playful Podcast, your guide into the underground scene where we discover topics on kink and electronic music every week. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on our next episode. We're excited to celebrate Easter together with Berlin's and the whole world's only blue rabbit, Scotty the Blue Bunny. Scotty is an icon around the world and started his bunny journey in New York in the 70s. Since then, he's performed on stages all over the world, and today he's here with us in the studio. Speaking about his journey, the New York drag scene, HIV and his sobriety and much more. Let's get it. I am Amanda, and this is Playful Podcast. I am curious because last time I never asked you about who little Scotty was.
What does that mean? My childhood?
Yeah.
Are you my therapist now?
Yes.
What can I tell you, darling? I was in Las Vegas. It was a grand old time.
But you didn't grow up in Las Vegas.
No, I grew up in New York.
Yeah.
I grew up in the suburbs of New York, 40 minutes north of Manhattan. I went to college there. I lived there. The end. Oh, man. There we go.
Woo.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. The sound is making me happy. Thank you so much.
Look at that. Terrible.
You beautiful guest.
I can
bringing
pour
us
mine.
Alcohol-free.
I will pour one for... Here, look. You see?
Yeah, that one was
Still got the
good.
skills. Here, you take this.
Oh, you are so sweet.
This is a special German product placement. It's manufacturer George Geiger Rosensauber.
Oh, it smells
Prost.
good. Prost.
Guys. And it is apple, rose, and mint.
Oh my God, it's really good.
Listen.
This one was better than the last one.
Yeah,
even.
sure. I got skills.
I think the rose
It's perfect
taste.
for spring.
Amazing. What's your view on Easter anyway?
It's disgusting.
Okay.
Don't you think it's gross?
Because of the Jesus
The
thing.
resurrection? Zombie? Is it a gross to you? Okay. Maybe I'm wrong, but if my husband died for 3 days after being crucified and then was alive again, I would be like, yeah, you've been dead for 3 days. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I would rush right back into like a relationship, you know, or if my neighbor died for 3 days, like, and also like, well, I guess it's like, you know, now it's like 3 days AD, like 3 days ago, like it's a Sunday, right? Easter Sunday. So Thursday, it was still BC, you know?
You know a lot
now it's
about
AD.
it, like for a person who's not.
Well, I know that Jesus Christ died.
Yeah, okay.
Roll the rock away.
Wow.
It's disgusting.
How did you learn about Christianity?
I'm American.
Yeah,
It's
but
forced down your throat.
You're Jew.
Yeah. So we don't live in a integrated society. We live in a Christian nationalist.
So it was in school, I guess, then.
Well, I'm Jewish, but you know, we don't have Hanukkah on Fifth Avenue. It's the Macy's Christmas Day parade. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Merry
yeah.
Christmas, you know.
But you don't celebrate Christmas.
No, well, my sister is married to a non-Jew, so they celebrate both. So, yeah, we celebrate Christmas-ish and Hanukkah, whatever.
Everything.
I'm not, you know, it's ridiculous. Religion's just,
Yeah.
I'm immortal.
Do you think...
I'm happy to be a soulless, temporary mortal being. There is no afterlife. There's nothing on the other side.
really? You
Don't
don't
cling to life. Don't cling to life. There's nothing
is
on the
actually
other
something-
side.
This is something we never spoke about, actually.
What?
I didn't know that you were so...
Atheist?
I know that you're an atheist and that you don't like religion.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm anti-religion. I'm against it.
Yeah, why?
Because it's the easiest way to manipulate people and gatekeep secret information. The religious abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, crystals, like, I think it's okay to have physical objects. I have crystals, I have mandalas, I have things. I practice a Buddhist form of recovery. I meditate. But, I'm more about self-generated awareness and normal, conscious behavior,
Yeah.
like managing myself as a human being in the
world.
Military industrial complex,
But you don't believe in karma.
Not at all. Well, I believe in the consequences of your actions.
That's karma, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't believe that you have to. It's karma's. It's something for everyone. Consequences are for everyone. Karma is not like some. It's not magical. It's normal.
And you believe when you're dead, you're dead.
Whatever happens after death will take care of itself. I love being me. I love knowing you. I hope that when we both die, and if there is an afterlife, you'll be there and I'll be there. So it could be Scotty and Amanda forever.
But
do you know what I mean?
Maybe have other names.
Whatever. But that's none of my business, really.
Okay.
I have to worry about Thursday. I think it's ridiculous. People are worried about what they're, what's going to happen. Don't cling to life. I heard the song. I don't know the artist right now, but let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah, whatever.
Let it go. Let it go.
That one.
That one.
Not that one. Yeah, don't worry I wouldn't worry too much. You know what I mean? It's held over your head. This thing of death is held over your head in a way that you can be manipulated.
Are you a person who push things away rather than dealing with them? Would you say?
Sure. Who doesn't do that?
I don't. I think I don't. Most of the times I'm obsessed with situations that make me feel something. I go through it so many times in my head.
Oh, well, you need to
until it's drained, and then it's what I need to what?
Get on antidepressants. That will make it stop. It's not about depression.
All right.
Well, I mean, I try to deal with things, and I would say that I push things away like a normal person would. But I mean, I do a lot in the day. I immigrated to another country. I learned another language. I make bunny suits. I get to the airport on time. I was a little late here today, but it is frickin' 9:30 in the morning. So, I do all right. I brush my teeth. I take my thyroid pill.
You play violin?
I play violin. Not so much lately.
But you play
I'm working on my
horn.
website. I got a lot of shit to do. House is a mess, but my dishes are done, laundry is clean, and bed is made. Those are the three things.
Alphorn. You play alphorn.
Yodelay-hee-hoo. I do play the alphorn.
You are very surprising. You're a very surprising person.
Why is that? Is playing the alphorn any more surprising than playing the accordion or the ukulele or smacking a tambourine?
Yeah.
You have a dog. I find that more amazing than playing any instrument. You care for a
children, people
four-legged
who have children.
mammal.
But she's not a lot to handle. But imagine people who have
what do you mean? She walks outside and poops. You have to pick it up. I'm done. I'm out. We're breaking up. I'm sorry. Never.
Mm-mm. No. Okay.
You have to walk her in the rain, in the
snow. She hates rain, so it's okay. It's okay.
When I see a dog's eyes, I think about their bladder, and I think if they're hungry. I can't have an animal. I'm vegan.
You are also very sensitive.
I'm vegan. I love animals, but there's no way I'm trying to get another human being in my life.
Boyfriend.
Something.
Yeah.
But just regular friends, whatever. So here's to your goodwill and your that you
Pure
care
heart.
about me, and
I
you
do
don't
care
want
very
me.
much.
You want someone to come be in my life and cuddle me and all that good stuff, and have dinner with you and Philip.
Oh, I would love that. Vegan food.
Sure.
How long have you been a vegan now?
I don't remember. I think it's going on 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So was it in the same time that you got sober that you became a vegan and a
I think I went vegan
Buddhist?
first. I know. What a piece of horrible. What a weirdo.
Maybe it. Yeah.
Well, the veganism kind of like once you cultivate awareness around the cruelty to animals and the whole system of cruelty in this little area, then you start to become aware of all the cruelty in the world. You know, there is no such thing as fair trade cocaine.
No.
No. So I went vegan, and then someone was like, "Aren't you vegan?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "You know, that got here in someone's ass, you know, like there's no such thing as fair trade."
So that was
cocaine.
the drip for you.
That wasn't the only thing, but I was like, you know, people like to talk about when did you stop doing insert harmful behavior here. And it's never like, it does never, ever happens like on a Thursday. It happens over time. There's many things. It always happens in a constellation of things. So the veganism was a little bit of a eye-opener, but also like my bad breath, my little bank account, and all this other stuff with partying in
with
Berlin.
partying. I was
Sure.
eating meat.
No, but
No,
I just mean like getting sober was an extension of my ethics. Because it doesn't make sense to harm myself. How can I speak to compassion for queer people, for Black people, for old people, for women? How do we speak about empowerment, compassion? How do we speak about body autonomy when we're eating bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're eating captive bodies. How do you do that? I couldn't do it. Other people can, but I'm like, no, sorry.
And oysters?
I think it's better to, for me, I'm a abolitionist. I'm abstinent. Because once you have an oyster, then you have an egg, then you have a little honey, then
You don't eat honey.
No honey, no meat, no meat, no animals, no wool, no silk, no leather.
No silk. That's like by butterflies.
It's by silkworms.
Silkworms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why?
Because it's part of the ethic. It's part of the
You're
animal.
not feeling good creating silk?
No, because it's worms.
You don't like worms.
No, I just don't like worm farming.
All right. Okay, it's a lot of things. You are very much straight edge then.
That's right. I'm gay edge queen.
Gay edge.
Yeah.
Do you drink coffee?
Of course. Gotta have something. Can only be so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I drink
only
coffee, I
that
eat
is, like,
bread.
created in the right way,
Huh?
or like, are you very particular about how the coffee is created? Then
I try to, like I said, it's a process. So you can start. I mean, we can't avoid plastic, right? So all this vegan shit that's supposed to be about cruelty free comes wrapped in plastic, you know, like there is a carbon footprint. I'm not growing vegetables on my balcony, you know, so I live in the material world, but
you're not a material boy.
I'm very material. I like luxury goods, but the thing is, we do our best.
Yeah, we do our best.
We do our best. And I think it's
you can
very...
only do so much.
Yeah,
also.
But it's very easy to pick up an apple instead of a chicken leg. You know, for me, it became disgusting. Yeah.
And were you, but so...
I'm still an asshole. I still have conflict. I still fight with people. I'm still late. I'm still a human being, but I'm not participating You know, how do you talk about the women in Iran and then go to the Reva and pick out hamburger? It's the same system of cruelty.
I see what you are saying.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's nice. Next subject.
Yeah.
I talk about it all you want. Cheers. Here's to the animals.
Cheers to the
To the
animals.
whole of creation.
Oh, wow. You sound so Christian.
Well, sometimes it's fun to say things, to use it, to see how you can manipulate. See, that's what I mean. Like if I say to all of creation, you're like,
Yeah, but you have always been a very smart person. It's was it easy for you in school? Like, did you just nail school like this?
no.
Really? Because you have a little hard to
Intelligence
focus?
doesn't.
It's true.
Intelligence doesn't present itself as
I agree.
as academic achievement.
I definitely agree.
I was beyond school. I was above it.
Yeah, okay. But then you did actually study mathematics. No, what did you study?
For 2 years I was a biology major.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you had like a little bit of changing plans in the midst of your life.
Because I grew up in the suburbs of New York and I was a Blondie fan and I used to write love letters to Debbie Harry and I listened to Chrissy Hind, I listened to the Pretenders, the B-52s. My dad had a job in New York City and he would come home with the New York Post and there was like a celebrity page, like a blind item page, gossip column called Page 6. And every now and then there would be a picture of Divine going into a nightclub or there was some weird club stuff going on. And I just always wanted to live in New York City. And I forgot how I got there.
Because we were speaking about that you were studying biology.
Yeah, so I did what I had to do to get out of my family home.
Yeah.
And I finished my college in New York.
Okay.
In New York City, 1989.
Did you move like on the day that you could move?
No, I was working in a supermarket slicing meat. And the woman, they decided to open, this was the beginning of suburban cheese culture. And they, in the supermarket where I worked, they opened a cheese counter and they brought in like a professional cheesemonger. This is the real term, to set up all the cheeses. Nobody had ever heard of a chev. You know, they were like, goat cheese with goat's milk. Anyway. And she had a little apartment she came when I had to go to school and she had a little apartment that she was subletting. So, boom, I moved out of my parents' house into my own apartment in Soho. Bam! Queen, 1987.
And how did you find your, like, the gay community or, you know, the drag community that you were...
I wasn't into any of that.
But you did try drag.
Yeah, but that was much later. That wasn't the early days. Everybody tries drag. You tried drag.
No.
Of course you have.
I have. Like,
yeah, of course.
What
You put makeup on and go out to a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. But I mean, so more the because that's like the part of the drag culture that we have been like taking into, you know, to all of our lives, basically.
But there's the real, I mean, I saw RuPaul in the early days before, you know, and Joey Arias and Happy Face, Lahoma Van Zant. There's so many others. It's just like, even when I speak about it, I start to heat up. People are dead, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Lady Bunny, for crying out loud. Like, all of those were my... Dean Johnson, Paige, all of these people were my nightlife, were my celebrities. So, and they weren't like flashy fashion people either. They were East Village monsters. They were not, I'm going to say, you know, they were not beautiful people. Of course they were beautiful, but they were like creatures from beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a kid on the dance floor when Delight came out with Groove is in the Heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you say de gorgeous, de groovy?
Are we also speaking now about HIV?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very... Yeah, that's very harsh. Like, how was that for you? Like, during that time?
It was scary because I really didn't come out until I moved to New York. I was 21. I didn't really come out as a teenager. There wasn't really space for that. So I came of age at the end of the first wave AIDS crisis. And I moved to New York right at when that started to break and calm down a little bit. So nightlife was just rebuilding. And every bars, you know, I was trained to inquire about someone's behavior, like on a first date, like right away. Yeah, giving head with a condom, like that was the generation. That's where I'm from. When COVID came and they were like, put a mask on, I'm like, not a problem.
Yeah.
You know, you could get wasted in a bar, go home with somebody, and then be like, you know, have you been tested? Like these were the conversations that we had. All the bars had condoms and information all over them. ACT UP was there. Queer Nation, you know. Yeah. Now you have PrEP. It's really good. Yeah.
I even read that through stem cells, some people like got free from it.
Yeah, they're undetectable or yeah, so we're there.
Yeah.
It's a different
but it was a slow process.
Well, it was traumatic. I mean, it was you saw how people acted with COVID, you know. So people were dying.
Yeah.
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 So it was a little bit, I definitely have trauma from being gay, from coming out, from having AIDS fear all around me, all this public art and all this other stuff. It was, I mean, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I drank a lot. I
you
did
were
a lot of
party
theater.
animal.
I ran around the streets of New York City with my all kinds of trans. I was a rabbit, for crying out loud, in the circus and drag queens and beautiful, beautiful after going up for breakfast on Avenue A at 5 o'clock in the morning with everybody had makeup on. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. But I'm 56 now, so whatever.
You're a big boy now. What made you want to leave New York then?
I got a job in Sweden working with Riksteatern. My friend Emma put me in a project called YAM at Söderteatern, and Riksteatern picked it up, and they paired me with the artist Mapei. And she was a backup singer for Timbuktu, but she also had this was when like freestyle rap was like a thing. And she was amazing. And her boyfriend at the time, DJ Carly, they would tour a little bit. So she was building a name for herself as a freestyle rapper. And she would just say ridiculous things. And people loved her. So they put me and her together.
What a fucking explosion.
Sure. And I had a little part. So I had a choice to make. And when I was leaving for the job, my roommate at the time was like, I'm not putting up with another subletter. If you go for this job for 4 months, I'm moving out. And then our landlord was terrible. We had been raped. They didn't put the rape, excuse me. Cut that.
Yeah.
Our landlord was terrible. We had been robbed, broken into, and they never put the heat on. There were mice everywhere. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to move out too.
Yeah, mice.
And I'm going to move to Sweden. And so I sold everything, got rid of everything.
What was your view on Sweden then? Was it like...
Well, for me, it was like I was very ignorant at the time. I hadn't really traveled so much. And I remember the taxi from Arlanda when it got off the highway and then went under the thing, and then Stockholm just rose up in front of me like a 16th century pop-up book.
Oh.
You know, with the Church of the Night and all this other shit, the Stadshuset and all this other stuff. And I was
it's
like,
a beautiful city.
Of course, with the Malaren and the whole thing. And I was like, wow. And the hotel and the stinky smell of Slussen and all this crazy stuff. And like fish at that time, I was eating a knackis. You can go to the outside and you get a knackebröd with potatis and a little piece of fish, fried fish with some green shit on it and onions. I was like, damn, and a light beer.
You liked beer.
Of course, queen. With a fried fish on a potato. Or you could go to the other place and you could get the korv in a thing with the potatoes and the shrimp salad. You know that one?
Yeah.
Holy fucking hell.
Good times. They're gone.
They're gone. It was beautiful.
But you were like touring in Sweden. You got like... You were living the...
Well, it was very hard. It was very stressful. It was winter. And it was cold. And we were two black people and a gay guy touring in like Västerås and Jönköping, where they invented the match. And super Christian places. They threw ice at us. They didn't like,
Ice.
They didn't really like us. It wasn't really good. It was not a good experience. But we made it.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
And I got to live in Gamla Stan, but
and
it wasn't...
you didn't give up on being a performer. Like
I should have, actually. I should have quit.
You think?
Yeah.
What would you have done then instead?
I don't need to... Well, just don't need to be abused. If it's not a right situation, it should just be...
But I mean, like, you were doing that. I didn't mean you quit the show just.
Yeah.
But you were still... You did the show, and after being, like, really...
I brought a lot of anxiety to the situation because I had never been abroad. I had never been an extended trip outside my culture, even though it was Sweden, whatever. But I had a lot of, it was my attachment style at the time, my anxious attachment style. And I overdosed on Smogotis. And I did laying on the floor naked, just like, I ate so much candy. But I had a beautiful little flat with a fireplace right in the center of Gamla Stan. And I just wanted to be there.
But you partied hard then? Or not?
You can't really party hard in Sweden.
I've seen photos of you. I saw photos of you.
Yeah, well, I always took off my clothes.
I didn't mean those.
After the party.
Oh, well, yeah, actually.
After the show.
There was something about you running naked in the...
Burns.
In Burns, yeah. Yeah, what up?
What up?
But you were fucking
Tequila.
beautiful. Like, you were still beautiful.
Of course.
But you were
Tequila
hot.
makes her clothes come off. It's that kind of thing.
It does? I never heard that. I don't know.
Tequila makes her clothes come off. It's a country song.
I need to.
Look, I'm a normal person. When I get wasted, I like to strip and dance.
Yeah. So
Woohoo!
fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I wish I was hanging out with you back then.
Well, you might not have lived, but sure. You couldn't do it.
No, I know. That's too bad. But well, anyways, you still have fun today. Working in Vegas, have been living in Berlin for like
10 years.
10 years, yeah.
10
That's
Jahre.
Speaking fluently German.
Vielleicht flüssig Deutsch.
Yeah. And going to Buddhist, I was going to say retreats, but it's like...
Not yet.
Retreats. Not yet silent retreats. Is that something you could do?
No.
I couldn't imagine you doing it.
I do it at home. I don't talk to anybody.
But sitting and meditating and not speaking, it's like a punishment for you, no?
Is it?
I just cannot imagine
I'm a little bit more practiced now. I think I could do it.
Really? I'm amazed. If
Sure.
you do it,
well, it's
call
pretty
me,
there. You
and I'll
know,
buy you a
Vipassana retreats are pretty. Yeah, they got the flags, they got a stupa, they got Buddha statues. People love drinking tea.
What do you feel you learned about yourself since you started to go to the Buddhist sobriety meetings?
What I learned is nobody really knows when somebody says, okay, relax, take a deep breath. Nobody really knows what that is. They're like, that's not a deep breath. Like a deep breath is like, you know,
And the people.
that's a deep breath, you know?
Yeah. And the people in your group, they don't do it.
Of course we do. We
But you
breathe
said-
together. We meditate together. We cultivate awareness together. We support each other. We don't really, we
Are you
talk.
close?
It's kind of not, some people are. I have a few relationships in my group, but we are in a situation together. We're not, you know.
Yeah, not hanging out so much outside, you mean?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. What did you more learn than the deep breath? You are very I think you said that you, because you were talking about that you got vegan, and you were vegan before, but a lot of things like you're more sensitive. But it feels like your core has always been sensitive, maybe.
I'm traumatized. I'm hyper aware.
Is that a response to being traumatized, to be hyper
Sure.
aware? Oh, really? I didn't know.
I'm American. I didn't really grow up in a permissive environment for being gay. I'm a Jew. You know, there's trauma in that. There's trauma in growing up being a woman. There's trauma in growing up being black in some places. There's trauma, you know. It doesn't have to be like, I'm traumatized. But, you know, as a child, you can perceive things that influence you. And as I think it goes a little something like this. I think as a child, you have, I know for myself, I had coping mechanisms that helped me survive. But as an adult, they became the definition of pathology. So I had to kind of undo that. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay.
I think it sounds very smart, but I don't understand it.
In order to survive as a child, I kind of isolated. I satellited. I was always on the outside. And that was to kind of like be hiding in plain sight. But as an adult, even though I'm a performer, standing on stage where I can see where everybody is a safe space for me.
It is a safe space.
Yeah, because I know where everyone is.
Yeah.
And I'm alone on the stage. Clear boundaries.
No surprises.
Well, plenty. But also it's like, you know, when you're, you know, 55, 56 years old, living alone, blah, 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 like, oh, I'm still doing that. I'm still kind of isolating. You know, I'm still kind of like, not really, I'm not learning about relationships. I'm not getting tangled up in human commitment garbage.
Garbage?
You know what I'm saying? You see?
I don't think it's garbage.
Of course. So that's it.
But
it's not really, it's a very light, fabulous, it's lovely, it's wonderful.
Well, it can be garbage. I'm not going to say.
Of course.
Yeah.
To relationships. Ew.
Every relationship that is good.
But when I say I'm learning about relationships, I mean with family, friends, the environment, clouds, the sky, birds, your dog. You know, those are all relationships. And I feel like also there is a trauma being born into the military corporate complex. You know what I mean? And so when you start to want to eat better, feel better, be compassionate, you have to heal. Yeah, but it's not like spiritual either. It's just business, babe.
Business. Okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of therapy and I took medication and I have my Buddhist and like it doesn't happen overnight. It's almost 4 years.
What do you do for fun?
I've been going to the Philharmonic in Berlin. A friend of mine introduced me to their free concerts on Wednesday afternoon. It's super nice. They have like hour-long concerts at lunchtime, and you can have lunch there. It's not that expensive. And everybody sits on the floor, and all the old people come in their wheelchairs. And we just sit around drinking coffee, and there's a baby that squeaks every now and then. And last Wednesday was a beautiful cello, bass, and viola concert. And the week before was harp and flute. Super cool.
Are you
and
going
it's
to
free.
perform?
No. These people are on a level. And I've been going to see a lot of performance art because there's a lot to do in Berlin that doesn't really have to do with like being really sweaty on the verge of an overdose in the back of a nightclub. There's a lot of culture here, so I'm trying to do those other things. I'm going to learn Finnish. Yeah.
Why? I love Finnish. Like it's a really raw
It's
and cool
ihana.
language.
Yeah.
And it's also beautiful, like a fairy tale.
Yeah, it is. It almost sounds like Hawaiian.
I don't know how.
Ihana is lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Ihana,
okay. So you're-
Ihana sitting in poo-poo. It's a beautiful blue bunny. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was just there and I was like really
Someone told you this?
Yeah,
Marry them.
But I was just there. And a tervetuloa kaikille. Welcome everybody.
Wow, you're good.
Yeah. So someone was giving away a Finnish. I forgot that we're in Germany and they put down this like dictionary like for Finnish, but it's Finnish German. So I'm like, okay, this might actually help me. If I go to Finnish school in Germany, I might have to go and speak German in the Finnish school. Polyglot, here I come.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you want to live there?
No. I like the language.
You
Why
want to
not?
still live in Berlin?
I will die here.
You will die here?
Yeah.
Why?
It's too late for me. Unless there's money or like a nice piece of dick somewhere, then I'm not moving again. I will live here. I will die here.
Because you love it or because you're lazy?
I can't. Oh, shit. That's hard.
I just wonder because it's...
Girl, lazy does not describe me.
No, you are right. You're both. You're very, very not lazy, but you also have a lazy side. Like most
I can
of
lay
us.
around. I enjoy my free time.
Yeah, exactly.
When I can waste a day, it's like laying on a pile of money. Everybody else is like, do this, gotta do this, gotta do that. What are you doing today? And I'm like, watch me lay here on my, like, I feel rich. It's so luxurious.
To just
lay there. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Helsinki. I've been to New York, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, Florida. I've been to Canada. I've been to Sweden.
Yeah.
I've been to Switzerland. You know what? My bed on the 12th floor of my building is great.
Because why I also said that was because I remember you sometimes said like it was such a big process for you to move to Germany because of all the visa and everything that you're like, nah, not done this.
Well, it would be dumb to move now because they're going to redo the law and it might be easier. They're already coming up with easier visas and like the world is changing because of the war. And now it's easier to come to Germany to work and stuff like that. And they might change the law for the dual citizenship. So you don't have to give up your I wouldn't have to give up my American passport. So it would be dumb. Where will I go now?
No, you already
It's too
travel
late.
also so much for work. You already travel a lot for work.
It's too late for me. I will die here at Frankfurter Allee, Ecke Mullendorfstraße, Lichtenberg. Okay? That's where I will be. The little boy who sees me in the hallway, when he is my age, he will see me like, now we were in the hallway. But, you know, he will be an adult, and I will be going down the stairs one step at a time. Hello. You know?
Aww.
I can't wait. That's my goal, is to just get really, really old, like this old.
And how long do you think you're going to be able to be on stage and perform?
I'm just hoping to live long enough where all I have to do is be old and wear a bunny suit.
Oh,
like I think that exactly.
Beautiful.
I think if I can make it through to like 70 in the bunny suit, they'll just have me on. And here's Scotty the Blue Bunny. And I just go like this.
Yeah, wow. It's true.
And they'll be like,
you are already a legend.
An old person.
A legend. I mean, there's only one Scotty the Blue Bunny.
One knee.
One you, definitely.
There's only one knee.
Only one knee, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really... It's too late for me. I got all my shit here, my sewing machine, piles of fabric. Just bought new sheets. I'm not going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going anywhere unless the money comes in. I got a nice little flat. It's good for me. It's right where I need to be. And I'll die there.
Yeah.
I got my name on a contract. Bye. Have a nice life. Go on with yourself. Amazing. But also, it's like if I get the passport, I could move to another country. Like right now, I could only go for 2 years, and then you have to register after that in the new country. You have to start the process again. Come on. No way.
No way.
I'm German now. Once you live in Berlin too long, you can't live anywhere else.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm not moving either.
Yeah,
like,
you can't go back. People like us, we can't move to London.
No.
No, you couldn't live in Stockholm.
No.
After living here, New York, Tokyo, you're like,
Why New York? Why
I
not
lived
New
there
York?
already.
Yeah. But
I left there.
But what is the backside of it?
What do you mean?
Like, why is Berlin better to live in than
No,
New York?
it's not that. It's like you get you're handicapped now. We live in the craziest, dumbest, flattest, casual, armpit hair, dirty city in Europe. Nothing is really, it's casual, it's flat. You know? Yeah. Wherever you go, there you are. Whatever. It doesn't matter here. Nobody, you're out on a Saturday night. If you're not on like one of 3 crossings, Eberswalder Straße, maybe, or what, Hermannplatz. If you're not on those, or Kotti, if you're not there, what do you see? 3, 4, 5 people on the street. You go out in New York City in the East Village on a Saturday night, you got people pushing you, bumping all over you. What do you want to go on a Saturday night? You know what everybody's doing on a Saturday night?
No.
If they're not on fucking line like idiots in the freezing cold outside Kit Kat. They're at the Reva getting the last broccoli. It's Saturday shopping. Oh my God. How will we live with one egg for one day? That's what we're doing here. It's dumb. You can't live anywhere else. It's too casual. It's too easy.
It's easy.
It's easy. What do you want? A subway? Streetcar? All right. S-Bahn? What would you like? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Not being bothered. But I know, because there's a last question that I have, because but there it's I remember we also spoke about, because a lot of people are speaking about the freedom in Berlin.
Yes.
Like that as a queer person you feel free.
Do you?
But exactly, this was where I was gonna head, because it's different. And this is something that I know you have been also...
I think that people are able to build safer spaces, and they can make their communities, but I'm sorry. These streets are dangerous. They're not safe. Yeah. Excuse me. This is not like galloping or you don't walk out the door and see unicorns flying and rainbows everywhere. You know? I'm sorry. I've known about a few. I feel like living in Berlin, I've known as many attacks, violent attacks against queer people as I did in New York. And I've known about as many bashings, and I've, felt unsafe myself. And yeah.
Is it the same in all cities you lived in or been in?
No, but I just think, like people talk about you could feel more comfortable, I guess, by Nollendorfer plots, There are gayer areas. But, that's what we have to do. In order to feel safe, we have to segregate ourselves a bit. And I feel more comfortable in my Ecke in Friedrichshain than I did in Wedding. So, but I just feel like, my ignorant friends come to visit and they've heard about Berlin,
Yeah.
And I'm like, enjoy, find it. You can find it, but it's going to be, I feel like people have made their communities. You can really cultivate a community here, or maybe I'm traumatized and it's my trauma response. But when I'm on the street, I'm like, I watch my back. I get hyper aware. Tourists come. It's a free city. Yes, I said in my interview, and issue number 1 of Playful magazine, people come to Berlin, they lick MDMA out of the hand of a stranger and disappear for a couple of days. Is that freedom? Is it? You can go to a sex club. You can go to Kit Kat Club. Great. You have to wait online for hours. I don't understand the Berghain thing. Waiting online for days. I already did my clubbing in New York, I don't know. I don't compare. I say that I usually say people don't love Berlin. Nobody really loves Berlin. But we can't live anywhere else. We can't. Sometimes I curse it. I hate it. Something happens. This weird city. But then if I have a flight and I have to go somewhere, I'm like, but the sky is so gray and low and the clouds are keeping me safe. And, the little U-Bahn is coming. And, oh, no, now I have to go to New York. It's so loud. It's so dirty, or London. Those British people are so loud, they drink too much,
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's a mixed bag, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's flat. When I first came here, I took a taxi from Tegel. I thought, I'm going to treat myself. And I thought that I would have the same poetic experience as I did when I got to Stockholm. And I was staying with a friend in Mitte, and the taxi just stopped. And he was like, okay, we're here. And I was like, but where is it? I didn't see, I thought I would see. I was so stupid, so ignorant. And I think that set me on a course.
You thought you were going to see scrapes? Or?
I thought I was going to see Europe. I thought I was going to see a city. I'm from New York and I moved from San Francisco. You really can have a sense of place. When you're in London and Piccadilly, whatever, circus, you have a sense of it. But Berlin, I was like, okay, here I am in Rosenthaler Platz. What is it?
Yeah.
Freaking M1 screeching by, what is this? What is this place?
And now you can't leave.
Never.
Never.
No, I'm a Berliner.
You are a Berliner.
Ja, ich bin Berliner.
Thank you.
Vielen Dank. Tack så mycket. Kiitos.
It was lovely. Thank you so much. You really brought everything and more. This was it for Playful Podcast this week, but please follow, subscribe, and listen to our next episode. And if you want to have a say about future artists, or even ask your own question to one of our guests, follow us on Instagram and make sure to add your question when we lift our coming guests. Thank you so much for joining, and see you next week.